Abigail, guardian of the portals. Damn it. I just wanted to buy a leather jacket. Abigail stood in front of the mirror in a fitting room, proudly admiring her new black leather jacket. It fit perfectly, a rare moment where she could simply feel like a normal young woman. But just then, the mirror in front of her began to flicker. Not again, she thought in frustration as a portal opened in the surface of the mirror. Before she could react, mechanical beings stormed through, humanoid machines with cold, glowing eyes fixed on her. They weren't here for small talk. They wanted to capture her, study her, or worse. But Abigail wasn't just anyone. With a determined look, she reached for the chain at her waist, the weapon of the Ghost Rider, who resided within her. The chain immediately ignited with blue flames as she lashed out at the attackers. With swift movements, she tore the machines apart, letting the supernatural fire consume them. The first wave was defeated, but she knew it wasn't over. The portal before her still pulsed ominously. She faced a decision. Should she burn this universe to ensure safety, or seal it off to avoid unnecessary bloodshed? A deep, omniscient voice interrupted her thoughts. I see that you wield your powers well and act with wisdom. It was the Watcher, an ancient being that observed the multiverse. His gaze rested on her. These beings are not inherently evil, he continued. They are not biological but technological. They act not out of malice, but curiosity. There is hope for a peaceful resolution, if communication is possible. Abigail nodded thoughtfully, but before she could respond, a second wave of attackers poured through the portal, this time larger and with enhanced weaponry. I will try, Watcher, she said firmly, but if I have no other choice, I will do what must be done. The battle began anew. The machine warriors were faster, their weapons deadlier, their tactics more refined. Abigail fought fiercely, unleashing the Ghost Rider's power to drive back the waves of enemies, but she soon realized this was a battle with no end. Beside her, the Ghost Rider's growling voice echoed in her mind. Abby, this is a trap. Someone deliberately led us here. You're scared? She teased while smashing another enemy with her flaming chain. I fear no battle, but this is a distraction. While we fight here, something far worse is happening elsewhere, and we are not there to stop it. Abigail realized he was right. She changed her approach. Instead of continuing to fight, she began forging a massive wall from the remains of the fallen machines. Using her supernatural powers, she melted the metal together, creating an impenetrable barrier that gradually sealed the portal shut. The machines desperately tried to stop her, but they were too late. With one final motion, she sealed the portal completely. The Watcher stepped beside her, studying the result. You have chosen wisely, Abigail. Only you will have the power to reopen this portal. She breathed heavily, her strength drained. The Ghost Rider within her was silent for a moment before speaking, unexpectedly gentle. It won't hold forever, but we will be ready. Abigail nodded and reached for her motorcycle. Her work was done, for now. An unexpected conversation with Nick Fury. Back in her world, she reported the events to S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury listened carefully, his expression unreadable as always. I'll leave a warning at this portal, he finally said. But I know people. They won't listen. Suddenly, a shadow flickered in the darkness, and a second pair of eyes watched him. The Watcher. Nick Fury froze for a moment before muttering, Damn, so it really is that serious. Before he could say more, the Ghost Rider suddenly emerged from Abigail's body, this time of his own will. Fury instinctively took a step back as the flaming entity fixed its gaze on him. I am no ally of S.H.I.E.L.D. You have accumulated much guilt. Many of your choices were wrong. Fury clenched his fists but said nothing. Inform your superiors. The Guardian of the Portals is not a weapon you can control. If your arrogance grows too great, I will judge. With those words, the Ghost Rider retreated back into Abigail, who let him go with a mix of resignation and understanding. Nick Fury was visibly unsettled, but he simply said, Understood. Abigail turned and walked away. She had done her duty. Final scene. The Watcher's thoughts. Invisible to human eyes, the Watcher observed as Abigail rode through the darkness on her motorcycle, her red hair flowing in the wind. He had seen many universes, many destinies, many warriors. But Abigail was unique. The Ghost Rider, an ancient, relentless force of vengeance, had been bound to his mission for centuries. His fire burned hot and merciless. His judgment was absolute. And yet, something had changed. The Ghost Rider, a being created for punishment and retribution, had begun to feel attachment. Not just respect, but a real connection. It was fascinating. It seems even an embodiment of justice can learn, the Watcher murmured softly, not just to judge, but to understand. He looked at the sealed portal. Abigail had made a choice, not blindly aggressive nor naively trusting. She had not acted out of vengeance or fear, but out of wisdom. That was rare. That was important. Perhaps she is more than just a guardian of the portals, the Watcher thought. Perhaps she is a balance between the forces within her. There was still much she didn't know. Many trials ahead, but she was on the right path. For the first time in a long while, he felt hope. And yet, a doubt remained. What would happen if she lost a battle? If she failed to save a universe? Could the fragile balance between her and the Ghost Rider remain intact if she suffered a true defeat? Or would it break? The Watcher sighed quietly. The future was uncertain. He only hoped that Abigail would be ready when her greatest test finally arrived. With one last glance at her fading figure, the Watcher disappeared into the darkness to continue observing the worlds. The story was far from over. As Abigail rode through the night, she softly hummed a melody. In Namen, this is your world, but it does not belong to you.